Hey guys, just got off the phone with one of our coolest clients, Heidi and Yuri out in California. Super awesome people, and they're going to be on a case study that we're going to be doing here shortly. But just had one of the most awesome conversations, and they reminded me of a really cool story of JWB, so I thought I'd share it with you. Before I forget, you want to find out more about JWB and how my team helps build a rental property portfolio for other clients out there. If you're looking for passive income streams, go to JWBwebclass.com. Have a whole training there. It's free, and you'll really get a good sense of kind of who we are and how we can help. But so get this, I was asking her, I was asking Heidi, what are things that you read? Where do you go? Where do you shop? I'm looking for places to put our marketing dollars. And so I asked her what book she read last, and she said, well, there's this book called The Energy Bus. Have you heard of it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I have a funny story about that one. So The Energy Bus was written by a guy named John Gordon. He lives here in Jacksonville, or St. Augustine, or Ponte Vedra, or somewhere really close. And it's a fantastic book. If you haven't read that book, you should. I read the book like 10 years ago, and I remember coming back into the office after I read it, and I went to everybody on my team. At that point, it was probably like 10 people at that point. And I was like, hey guys, we got to read this book. And I loved it. It was just, it's an awesome book. It gets you in the right mindset. It's a lot of positive energy. It's a quick read. It's easy. It's a good story. You should read it. And so I'm like, hey, we should read this book. But then I wanted to take it one step farther, because I found out that John lived really close here. And I was like, oh, we're a young company. This is 10 years ago. I was like, we're a young company, and I'm sure he would want to come and talk to us. And then I called up his office and I said, hey, I wanted to see about John coming and speaking to our group. And the lady on the other line said, well, that's cute, but John speaks for groups like the Jacksonville Jaguars and IBM and people who pay him a lot of money to go and speak. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, well, that's cool. I was like, I understand that I'm not the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I still think John would love to come and speak to us. What do you think about maybe if John has a last minute cancellation, coming and talking to our team? And the lady on the other hand, on the other side, pretty much laughed. And she said, well, that would be a first. And I said, okay, I understand. But you know what? No today doesn't mean no for forever. So would you be okay if I followed up with you? And if I was incredibly persistent, because I love John's message, and again, I just think it would be a pretty cool thing for my team to be a part of. And she said, well, sure, that's fine. So I followed up for the better part of 2 years. I called every once in a while, built up a great relationship with them. They thought it was funny that I was still calling and that it was never going to happen. I sent emails, I sent a few letters and whatnot. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she called me one day after 2 years of following up, and she said, Greg, John wants to come and speak to your group. So John came to our office, and that's when we were in this other office. It was our first office. It was really small. It was 2,500 square feet. We probably had 20 to 25 people in there at that point. It was totally cramped. And John came there and he spoke to us, and it was an awesome session. It was super inspiring, and then he and I have built up a nice relationship since. And I tell you, I share this story with my father-in-law, and I don't think my father-in-law loved me until I told him this story, because he loved the fact that I just didn't really accept no for an answer. But it was pretty cool. So awesome story about us in the good old days, and you got to have a lot of perseverance and stick-to-itiveness, especially in the beginning, because things weren't always going our way in the beginning. So you can see here, trying to make a turn here. But yeah, so again, if you want to find out more about JWB, we sell rental properties and we create these passive income streams for clients. And we can do that for you as well. We do it for clients all over the country. Clients come to us from 43 different states and 12 different countries around the world. And we build up these portfolios for them. We do all the property management in-house. And it can be a wonderful, hands-off way to build up passive income. So go to JWBwebclass.com JWBwebclass.com, JWBwebclass.com, and find out more about us and see how we can help. We'll see you there.